Pumpkins and melons. Melons and pumpkins. Okay, this is where we left off last episode. I was going to start a pumpkin and melon farm over here in this big, long, warehousey looking build, and I kind of started the floor plan of the layout of the farm right here. Let's see, pumpkins on this side, melons on this side. However, I think I've changed my idea. I'm not going to do that now. Well, I am still going to make an automated pumpkin and melon farm. I'm just going to change up the style a little bit. And the reason why is one of my awesome viewers, Mr. Shiny Object, he reminded me that you can use mud instead of dirt for the pumpkins and melons to grow on, and then the entire farm can be done without the whole minecart system. They can just be picked up by hoppers. So I'm going to do that. Yeah. And that changes my idea of what this build will be. Instead of being like this weird, long, weirdly large building that I couldn't figure out what it was going to be, instead I can make this farm much smaller and easily stackable. And that is going to mean that I can make this look like a bit of like a silo with a farmhouse attached to it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That is where I'm going to go with this. I had spent time in my creative world designing all the redstone to make this work, and it looks incredible. I mean, not the build, just the redstone part. But yeah, we're not using that. So, first of all, if you're new here, welcome. This is me playing Minecraft for a couple hours, unedited, unscripted. It's just me playing Minecraft. I probably try to be a little bit more chill and relaxed in this. No hype, no all of that stuff. Just me playing Minecraft. So I hope you enjoy. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Mud. We need mud. We have no mud. Nothing in none of these unmarked boxes near the dirt. No, of course we have no mud. So the first thing we're going to have to do is get mud. So let's go ahead and see. Oh, those are regular swamps. Let's see if we found. I'm sure we found a mangrove swamp, haven't we? Haven't we? What's this? There it is. There's a mangrove swamp. All right. So we need to fly over there and get ourselves a bunch of mud. Now I could make a mud farm, but that'll take longer than the melon and pumpkin farm. So let's just go ahead and go there. We're going to need to. Holy cow, that's really far away. Well, if we come over here to our nether portal, we can just fly north. That's just a little bit past where we were looking for those ruins last episode, so that should be pretty close by. So let's go out there and let's heal up my my shovel, since that's what we're going to be using. And let's see, do we have shulkers? Plenty of shulkers, and I do have an ender chest on me. Okay, good. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be filling up shulkers full of mud. At least not on this trip. But we'll see. It's good to know that we have everything we need if we want them. So we will take a quick trip over to our XP farm so we can heal up this shovel. In here. There we go. Alright, you can hear a container full of angry mobs. Let's see, I like to do this just to make sure that my inventory doesn't fill up with all of their drops. And then swing away. Okay, it's not fully... Oh, these silly zombies with their massive hit points. Okay, we're gonna have to wait a little bit for them to build back up. All right, very nice. So, while we're doing this, the final chapter of my Sunbeam Mixmaster, I used it to make the egg yolk sponge cake that was in that recipe book, and it was amazing. It came out really good. The second time that I made it, it came out really good. We won't talk about the first attempt. We won't talk about that. I made a half recipe in a 7-inch tube pan. The full recipe is meant for a 10-inch. I am not needing that much cake for myself, so I made a half recipe in a 7-inch pan, and it was incredible. It was really, really good. So it's a sponge cake, right? Which is like an angel food cake. It has that nice, like very light, spongy texture. But being the egg yolk cake and then the little bit of lemon flavor, it kind of tasted almost like a pound cake. So it had like that kind of lemony pound cake flavor with that angel food cake texture, and it was amazing. I will post something in my community posts. In fact, I will post it before this video goes up. So if you're watching this video, you can go over to my post and see a couple pictures of how it came out. And it is delicious. I should say it was delicious. It is no more. So anyway, okay, that is good enough for now. They don't need to be all the way full. Let's go ahead and just clean up some of this stuff while we're here. We like to put the bones in the bone box, and the gunpowder in the gunpowder box, the rotten flesh in the Eric the Cleric's box. We like to put the trash in this box. There we go. The other things in this box, and the bows. I don't have to worry about unenchanting it. There we go, in that box. Perfect. All cleaned up. Oh, no, go away. Let's get back home. And let's get to our... I think it was that one, right? Is that east? No, it's east. East is this way. This portal. This is the one that's all the way out in that mesa and desert, which is just south of where we're going. All right. And it is nighttime. Oh, that's right, the rustling sounds. That gets me sometimes, those rustling sounds that they added. Okay, so we're going north. And we're going to go past this warm ocean here, and then into that mangrove swamp. All right. So yeah, I'm excited about this farm. This is every time I've done, it's kind of one of those things. Like once you learn the way to do a farm, that's just kind of what you build because you know it, right? And the first melon and pumpkin farm that I learned is this same farm, except with those rails picking up the drops. So that's just automatically what I do. For this one, it would be fine if I could just like have them just dump everything straight down into the storage, but I don't want to have to go down to get to my storage. So therefore, oh, look at this tiny little bit right here. Look at this. We'll go ahead and rob this one of all of its mud. How's that? This tiny little mangrove forest. Mangrove forest? Mangrove swamp. All right. Yeah, anyway, so like it's the same farm. The farm is going to be the same. So the mechanism that detects when a pumpkin grows is the same. And that same... it detects when it grows and it pops them off with a piston. That all is going to be exactly the same. It's just the pickup mechanism that is different. And as far as, again, like I was saying, I could simply have them just go straight down into a storage, but I don't want to have to come into the building and then go down to get to them. So instead, I'm going to... I just thought of something. Your storage doesn't have to be vertical. It can be horizontal. Huh. Anyway, Okay, sorry. I just had a thought. Maybe I'll actually be able to express that thought fully when we get back home. Anyway, I don't want to have to go down into the basement to get the drops. I would rather be able to just walk in the room and have the storage, the stored vegetables and fruits right there at my disposal, where I can grab them and immediately trade with some farmers. So the farmers are going to live in that farmhouse. So that means that after I pick up the drops, I then have to transport them up to the storage, basically. So I'm probably going to do that similar to what I did for the bottles in the honey farm, in the bee farm. So I will probably just do the dispenser or dropper that triggers to shoot them into the water stream, and then have a water elevator just shoot them straight up to the top of the storage where they can plop down into the chests. So that's how I'll set it up. Or that's the plan. I don't have this planned. Everything that I planned on my creative server was for the farm I'm not building. It does look nice though. Maybe before the episode we'll pop over into my creative world and I can show you what the incredible redstone design was going to look like. And when I say incredible, it's pretty basic. So, boy, I'm just going to strip this entire mangrove swamp just of every bit of mud that it has. I don't need a ton of mud for this farm, but since I'm here, right, might as well get what you can. First of all, I love that Instamines. I also love the sound. That weird slappy sound is kind of cool. It's not gross. It's not as gross as like the squishy honey sound. It is still that same like weird wetness of the honey sound, but it's a more pleasant. It's like it's just a more pleasant sound. I like it. The Minecraft sound engineers are really, really good. Mostly. Mostly. Although I will argue that when you walk on planks, they often sound like villagers. I'll show you guys that later. Every time I'm walking around on like wooden planks, I keep thinking I'm hearing villagers because the planks make a weird little... I think they made it to sound... They want it to sound like squeaky floorboards, but instead it sounds like villagers going... You'll have to remind me. You'll have to remind me later in the episode to show you that. All right, this swamp is almost done. This should be probably the final layer, I'm guessing, since we're into the stone. Oh, there's still a little bit more down below, hiding from me. Is it getting dark? No, I'm just in the shade. Oh! I didn't mean to free the water. I wanted to keep the water from. There we go. Oh, it goes up under here too, huh? Okay, we don't have to get all that. Let's just boom. We don't need a mob sneaking up on us. Let's see. Where's the water we're trying to... Oh, look, it's all in the water too. You know what? We're not gonna get all of that. We'll just get the stuff that's here on dry land. I should say wet squishy land instead of wet water land. Alright, get in there. Is that everything? Is that all of them? That's all of them. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. No, I'm really done. Okay, that is good. That is enough. How much? Wow, that's a lot of mud. That's awesome. And yeah, we don't need to put that in a shulker. We can just fly straight home, which is south, right? That way. Woohoo! Very nice. Very nice. Let's head on back home. I hope you've had a good week and a good weekend. I have. I had this delicious, delicious egg yolk sponge cake from a recipe from 1972. If you haven't heard of it, check out my community posts. Yeah, yeah, that's about the most exciting thing I've done this week, besides just normal week. Work and chores and everything else. We're fine. Yeah. Let's see. Since I have Voxy, it's a little bit of an illusion of how far things are. Like normally I would not have seen that, but I felt like it was closer than it was, so I started dipping down with my rocket. Now, one thing I've noticed with Voxy, so if you guys know any other creators that use Voxy, I know of one creator that I watch all the time that uses Voxy, Mr. Zink. And by default, Voxy has a... Where is the mods? Here we go. So if you're playing with Voxy, so by default, Voxy has a rendering distance that is massive. It's like huge. It's like a lot. What is the... can you actually set it back to its default and see? I don't even know. But I like it in like the 50-some range. Like it's almost at the bottom. Almost at the bottom. And so it still lets you see like kind of far away and give you cool backgrounds. But you're not seeing like the entire world all at once. So I kind of like that. Not saying that, you know, leaving it at the default is wrong. Gosh, that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying, just let you know what I like and why I like it. Okay, let's head on back here to my home, and then we will start getting this farm all set up. I have no idea. I have no build idea for... I mean, I have a build idea. I told you it's going to be a silo and a farmhouse, but I haven't thought about what that build is going to look like. Like how I'm going to build it, I don't know. I didn't put any thought into that. I literally like... gosh, this morning I thought, hey, I'm going to do this farm instead. Of course, most of this episode was going to be building out that redstone, and I was going to do most of it like by just screenshots rather than trying to do the Lightmatica thing. And so I figured it would probably take me a while to kind of get everything right and everything. But now this is going to go a lot faster. You know what? I'm going to put that one so it's more obvious that it's mud. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and grab ourselves some mud. And let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and... I do that a lot, right? Let's go ahead and start this now. Let's go ahead. Let's undo all of this. Let's just tear it up. You know what I want to do? No, I don't want to do that. I was going to bring the beacon over. No, because when you're actually trying to work on a build, having insta-mine with your pickaxe is kind of annoying. So we'll just go with a slightly slow cleanup of this. So what I should really do is I should start the collection part first, so that I know how that has to be shaped and how the farm has to feed into it before building the actual farm platforms. That would make sense. So one thing with me, you have to know this with me. One thing with me, and when I'm doing builds, I tend to do them backwards. Like I'll make the farm, and then I'll be like, now I have to like collect the stuff and realize that I kind of ran out of room for it, or now I have to go underground. The biggest example of that, if you were watching my last season of Craftworks, and I made a gold farm on the nether roof. And why am I going all the way over here to go in my bed? I have my bed on me. That's because, like, when I'm talking, I don't think. I'm not thinking while I'm talking. Anyway, whenever I made that gold farm on the roof, I also made a villager trader farm. Not villager trader farm. Holy cow. All right. Breathe, Oda. Okay, hold on a second. Let me get a little bit of a sip of a refreshment here. Collect my thoughts. Relaxing Longplay. Not hyperspastic, can't think of what you're saying, Longplay Yoda. Next to the gold farm, I made a piglin trading farm so I could get all of their drops, and I opened up the Shady Trader shop. Well, I set up the piglin trading and had them all in their little things, and I had them all set up in trading, and then they all dumped into a chest, and then I realized they all just went into their one chest, and I had no collection to take everything from their chest to one place. And because I hadn't set that up, I couldn't implement it at all because it's sitting on top of bedrock. So therefore, every time I used that farm, I had to sit there with it and then make sure that if the chests were starting to fill up, because those things drop a lot of non-stackable things like books and stuff. And once it got to the point where those chests were getting full, I had to manually take the stuff out and sort them into the other chests. And that was a real pain. That was a real pain. So, lessons learned from that is when you're building a farm, don't just build the farm and then try to build all of the redstone and collection-y stuff around it. You gotta kind of start with that so you know what kind of space you're gonna need. And then, and only then, do you start building the farm. Alright, let's just make sure we have more than we need. Let's go ahead and just get several stacks of each so we don't have to keep coming back and forth. Let's see. I love this little sort. This is one of my favorite things. It's one of those mods that I got, and the only function I use on it is the sort. I have a few mods like that, like the one that does. I have a mod like when I'm looking at my inventory. Watch this. Okay, so like I see how I like one click and like all the mud. So normally you would have to like pick up one and then hold your shift and double. You'd have to pick up one, hold shift, double. Why is that not even working? The mod might be screwing that up. Anyway, normally you would pick one up or pick up something in your hand and double click and it would move all of that type. I got tired of doing that. And there's a mod that does a bunch of different stuff. And one of the things is it lets you do a single click to move everything of the thing you're hovering over. So I have that entire mod, and the only feature on it is that I use that one little thing, bloop, so I can move my inventory faster. The sort is another one. The sort is part of a larger mod, and the sort is about the only part of it that I actually use. All right, again, I'm talking and not thinking. I need to make sure I leave room for tons and tons of hoppers, and to leave room for tons of hoppers, I need tons of hoppers. So we got a lot of oak. Oh, we got a lot of this stuff. I'm going to need a lot. Like when I say I'm going to need a lot of hoppers, I'm going to need a lot of hoppers. Let's go ahead and just move this out of our way for now. And you know what I need to start doing is when I'm just building, like I don't need a shield taking up an inventory space, so I can just stick that in here. I really only need this. Honestly, once you're past early game, you don't really need that except for just some very specific situations. Like if I was going to a nether fortress, I would probably use it because you can block the fire that's coming at you, you know, that kind of stuff. But besides like very specific uses like that, that shield is almost useless once you're in the later game and you're very well protected. So I don't know why I keep carrying it around like that. Let's see. I'm just going to turn all of this into chests. Oh, that's another mod where I can just hit shift and I right click and it crafts like as many as it can. Excuse me. That's another one of those mods where I use almost nothing from the mod except that. Let's see. You probably saw, actually, whenever I was looking at Voxy, you probably saw most of the mods that I have. So, you know what? I have a ton already in my base. I don't need to come over here and get more. Okay, this falls in the realm of when I'm talking, I'm not thinking. So, yeah. See, I have a bunch here already. Okay, less than I thought. Let me just grab some from here. There we go. I have no idea how many I need to make however many hoppers. All right. Oh, And that's one problem with that mod, is you get click happy and then you make a bunch of boots. Gosh. Luckily, my inventory filled up pretty fast and I didn't make too many. Okay. Let's see if I can get them into the fire. So another thing I can do is I can do that. You'll despawn. Okay, that is one problem with that mod, is you can get click happy and kind of screw yourself up like this. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the hoppers. Hoppers, we'll make some more ingots. And hoppers. 3 stacks of hoppers. Let's see, if I do... I mean, 1 stack of hoppers is just an 8x8. I'm going to need a lot of hoppers. Wow, I'm going to need a lot of hoppers for this. Okay, like a lot more. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, okay. All right. Stop getting click happy here. Okay, there we go. As long as I just open my eyes and see what I'm clicking, I'm good. Okay. And then hoppers. Hoppers. Back to iron blocks. All right, that's enough for now. This is not enough to do the farm, because we're going to need a lot more than that, but that's enough to get us started. Okay. So let's go ahead and some of this and some of this. There we go. All right, and then I'm also thinking that when the first one comes down, I'm going to have the mechanism that's going to shoot them back up too. So I'm going to have to plan for that. So those are going to be droppers. And then some redstone, which I need to make some more components. But I'm basically going to be making what I did over here in the bee farm. And that is nice and hidden so you can't see it. Let's cheaty cam over. So this right here. So when you feed into the dropper, it goes through this circuit right here to reconnect. So there has to be like this 3x2 sticking out past it. And then that triggers the dropper. And then of course you have to have the blocks that make up the chute that goes up. So I'm going to have to leave room for that circuit as well so that I can get them to go all the way up to the top of the storage so they can trickle down through the chests. So that's basically what I need to leave room for there as well. And I'm going to, rather than trying to sort them, I am going to have the melons and the pumpkins running separately from each other. So I don't have to do a sorting mechanism. Let's see. Oh, we'll need 2 of those. I mean, as far as that's concerned, I just need these. I need 1 more comparator, which is 3 of those. Do they use a redstone? Quartz, quartz, quartz. Quartz. Oh, right there. And I think probably stone. Oh, okay, I didn't need the redstone for the comparator. The redstone is for the repeater. Okay. I mean, I'll need redstone dust. Like, I might as well just set them up. Okay. All right. So I think that mechanism can be under the floor. And then it can, in the floor of the farmhouse part, I'm going to need a floor underneath all of this. Probably, we'll go with a stone brick floor, what we were doing earlier, for now. And then we can change whatever we need to change later. Okay, let's sleep. So you are now experiencing the chaos that goes on in my... I always jump up this way. Why don't I use my actual stairs? What you're hearing is the chaos that normally goes on in my brain when I'm trying to initially design something. That's what you're hearing right now. Hope it's not too scary. So let's see. So we're going to have like a bit of a farmhouse here, and then we're going to have like a silo here. So let's go ahead and start making... Let's go ahead and... I need to stop saying that. Or why do I need to stop saying that? That's just how I talk. It's all good. So if I do like 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So if I were to do this, then if I put my stems like this, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 stems. If I did... What if I cut that? How many is that? 3, 5, that's 10. And then say this is the wall. So these are pumpkins. See, I don't even need to do the wall thing. I can just have the different layers be different vegetables. I say vegetables. They are both fruits. Right? This one we would call a fruit because it's sweet, and this one we would call culinarily a vegetable because it's not sweet. Which is why my brain, like, I want to call them vegetables. But I want to call them fruits. So there's not one word I can use for both of those. If the farm was just this big and it did 13 per layer, 13 stems per layer, then that's basically, and then that stacks up for the silo. That's not bad. Now, what if I arrange these stems slightly differently? This isn't going to matter, is it? Because it's just going to line up on the other side of the wall. No, this is different. See, this gives... This is 2, 5, this is 12. This is 12 stems. But I think you put more... Like, each stem has at least 3 blocks that they can grow into. Some of them have 4. Everything has 3 or 4 blocks they can grow into, right? The way we did it for the first time... like this, some blocks only have 2 that they can grow into, right? So 4 of these only have 2 blocks that they can grow into. Some of them have 3, and then some of them have 4. I like having everything have 3 or 4 spots they can grow into. And the reason why, whenever one of these things decides to grow, it's going to pick a square of the 4 that it could possibly grow into. And if it can't grow into that one, it will just not grow. And it'll wait for the next time it tries to grow, and then it'll pick one of those 4 random ones. So if at any time there are always 3 options, 3 or 4 options, rather than 2 or 3 or 4 options, each one will have a better success rate of growing. Plus 12 per layer is perfectly fine. That's more than enough. I don't need to squeeze out one more stem per layer. Of course, then quantity versus rate. Whatever. I'm not doing that much crazy math. 12 is fine per layer, and if I arrange them that way, that gives every pumpkin 3 or 4 available spots to grow. Perfect. I love it. So what I was thinking, Oh, this might work out. This might work out perfectly. Even that small. Okay, so here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts, right? So that is going to go down, right? So the pumpkins will go down like this side, right? So the pumpkins they'll collect and they'll go down here. The melon layers will go down this side. So every layer that's pumpkins will come down this chute. Every layer that's melons will come down this chute. And then they'll go underground to be ejected up the streams. Okay. Let's make some space here. I always just make a little bit more space than I need just so I have some breathing room for what I'm trying to work on. All right, good enough. And this is going to start filling up my inventory even worse. Okay, now I need to go get a chest. I really don't want to use my ender chest for this, do I? Whatever. Just to avoid going all the way over there. Let's just get rid of some of this for now. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay. So if they come down and then let's say we go down under the floorboard. So the floor is here. Well, the floor could be up one. Like you could come in, you could have a tiny little, like this, right? You could have a little bit of a front porch on this thing and then you come in and the floor is at this level. So let's say the floor will be at that level. So this will be the floor. The floor of the farmhouse will be here, essentially, right? And we'll have a little step up into it. Okay. So in other words, this block is below the floor. Okay. So then that would mean that we could do this could be the dropper. This one could go this way. This one could go that way. Their redstone could extend out this way underneath the floor so it doesn't have to stick out. It doesn't have to go out that way to make this farmhouse really, really wide, or to not force it to be really wide, although it could be wide as we want it. We do this, and then we have to boost that signal to full strength. Oh, I needed more repeaters. I needed 2 more repeaters. You know, if I have to go over here anyway, I might as well. Whoa, whoa. That wasn't relaxing. Sorry about that. I get so used to being able to fly that I'll even fly short distances where I don't need to. So my apologies for that. Very non-relaxing. Zip, zip, zap, zip, whatever that was. Let's see. I can bring a regular chest to store my junk in. I don't need to be wasting these. Not like... I don't need to be using those if I don't have to. Let me just dump this stuff in here. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, now. And then the way this works is... Oh, no, I don't need that. Oh, I don't need the extra because I'm only doing it one side. Yeah. So this wraps around and it goes both into the side of this comparator to cause this comparator to tick, tick, tick. And this pulls it straight to also power this. If this was not a target block and this was some other solid block, then we would need this. See, that doesn't connect. So this one connects, and then like this one, you would have to put a repeater there. Like this is the circuit you would normally make. But you can avoid this whole part of it by making this a target block, because the target block pulls that redstone towards it as well as that, and it lets this thing be powered. Because when this gets powered, this triggers. Right? So no matter how many things you put in there, it does that now. And it does it repeatedly because of this one going back in here, and this one is the power that's activating it. So that's how you do a simple like dropper spitty mechanism, whatever you want to do. That dropper could spit down into something, it could spit sideways into something. If you fed this in from the side, you could have it shooting straight up. Whatever your needs are. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So now let me finish this one here. Same thing. So this one should work as well. There you go. And we can have them. Oh, I don't know why I found that so amusing. That's funny. The simple things in life make us laugh. Now, the reason why I was saying I think this is going to work out perfect, because this will be this water stream and this will be this water stream. And this divider is what keeps them separated. So we got it nice and tight. We got a stream going up this way and a stream going up that way. And it's too close to the farm. Okay, problem, right? Because this stuff will be hidden here. This stuff will be hidden by the floor. Okay. Right, so you'll come in and this will be here, and then you'll see the water. You'll just see them coming up out of the floor. Pew, up the water chutes, up this. Right, so this could be glass, this could be glass. They could be trapdoors. But on this side, you got melon seeds or melon stems. I have an idea. I have an idea. It's going to require even more trapdoors. Trapdoors, since they can be waterlogged, we should be able to do a line of trapdoors inside the water chute. This should work. I'm all excited now. What kind of trapdoors should go up into this thing? I don't think we want... Do we want something solid like spruce, or do we want something kind of see-through like an oak? Let's use oak. Let's use oak. Trapdoors. There we go. So here's what I'm thinking. Let's see. So we get 2 soul sands out of here, please. There we go. Okay. And we're going to need a water bucket. I mean, technically, eventually 2. And eventually we're going to need to make them water sources as well, so that... Okay, this is going to be interesting because we'd have to get inside of it. No, we can do this. We can do this. We will find a way to do this because we're going to need kelp to make them. And bone meal. We got the actual bone meal over here. Okay. So here's my thoughts. Here's what I'm thinking. And we need probably glass to go up the middle, because it's always nice being... You know what? The middle... No, let's just make the middle stone. You know, I tend to use glass for all my farms, and I just picked that up from just early YouTubers showing you how to make farms, is because, you know, everything is visible. You can see it happening. But, like, you don't have to see everything happening. You know? You don't always have to see how the sausage is made. Right? So let's say we have soul sand there. Okay? And let's say that that's not a dirt. There we go. And that this is blocked off so it doesn't spill out. There we go. That could have been a mess. Let me go ahead and do this here as well. And the soul sand, and this thing doesn't need to be in line. There we go. And while we're at it, we might as well turn that one into a thing there. Okay. So then we have our water stream. Okay. Let's do one side of this for now. On this side, we're going to have... It's going to be a dirt, because this is where a stem is going to be. So that's going to be a dirt. Okay. And then the stem. Okay. Pretend that's a melon stem. Let me get these things out of here. It's bothering me. Oh, I shouldn't have jumped down there. Okay. Okay. And then on top of that, nope, that's not even going to be a melon stem. That's going to be a hopper. Right? All the hoppers are going to be feeding into this. So that's going to be a hopper. And then that's going to be a farmed, tilled farmland with a stem. And then the next layer up is going to be, right? Because then this is going to be mud. Mud. Where's the mud? Give me a mud, please. There we go. That'll be mud, right? Like that'll be mud as well. And then on top of this, we're then going to have, like, say, another, like, hoppers. Hoppers. There. Right? And then we start over and over and over again. So the problem here is that when this water stream goes up, it floods the stems. That's the problem. Right? However, check this out. I think this is going to work. Let me get some glass so we can... No. I'm not going to use glass because I won't be able to do it with glass. We're going to do it with trapdoors. I do the whole thing with trapdoors. Oh, this is going to be so awesome, guys. This is going to be so awesome. Okay, so first of all, let's get the... Before we plant these stems, we'll start with temporary blocks, and we'll make it a block that we know needs to be removed, like one of these. Okay. So then we build this up with trapdoors. Okay. So the front of our chute is trapdoors. And then, okay, you know what I need? I need bamboo scaffolding. Oh, I'm getting all excited. My brain is moving a mile a minute here. Mile a minute. Brains don't actually move, so that's a weird analogy. My brain is cranking at tons of RPMs. That's a better analogy. But brains don't turn over like a car engine, so they don't actually rotate per minute. My brain is just burning up CPU cycles. There we go. There's my analogy. All right, so just so we can get up here and see what's going on, let's go ahead and scoop our water back out. Scoop. And then we'll come up here after everything is all done and we're all ready to go. Okay. We'll come up here and we'll put our water. Oh God. Okay, we're gonna have to target. We have to target this block, or else we're gonna waterlog this or this or this. So we target the solid block. That goes all the way down. Okay. And then we go ahead and stick our kelp down here. And then we bone meal it. All right, that makes them all source blocks, and then we break them. Okay, we should have a bubble stream now. Excellent. Okay, okay. Still with me? Still with me? Okay, now we have a kelp. Did anything shoot out of here? That would have been cool if it did. If any of the kelp got caught in there, they'd shoot back out like an endless loop. Now, here's the problem is that is going to be replaced with a stem and not a block that blocks the water. But if we take our trapdoors and we line this entire interior with waterlogged trapdoors, I need to be able to target it without shifting. There we go. And here and then that one you have to shift because it's a trap thing. And then here and shift, or that, and then that, and then open. And then we target. And I'm doing all of them so nothing gets caught up on anything. And then we do. No. I don't want it there. It can be on the top. Doesn't matter. So, you know, the whole chute. Oh, does that stop the water elevator? Oh, dang it. Dang it. Dang it. This won't work. That won't work. That stops them from being... you can't have a bubble column through a... This stops the bubble column. Oh, darn it. I thought then everything would shoot out into here and still come up. And then once we break this to put our stem... See, it's protected. That's what I thought was going to happen, but that breaks the bubble column. I'm so glad I tested that out. Man, I thought I just discovered some new tech, totally new tech. I was going to innovate the world of redstone item transportation. Bummer. Okay, that's not going to work. So we have a problem where if we just do this, the water floods this because this can't be here. That's our problem right there. So that means we have to completely change our idea. I have to break all of these so I can remove these source blocks with like dirt or something. Darn, man, I was convinced that was going to work, and you guys were going to think I was incredibly innovative and awesome. Oh, man. Okay, that means that, unfortunately, we have two options. We could keep our design as planned. Let me move this stuff out of the way so we can plan it on the... Oh, look at, you can hear things just got caught in there and popped through our thingy. There we go. There's our mud. All right. So we have two solutions to this. Either these two stems in the farm get replaced by solid blocks, right? So we have two less stems. Everything still has 3 possible squares that they can get into. And now we just have 10 per layer. Or we move all of this out a block, sticking out into the farmhouse further. I'm thinking 10 per layer is probably fine. They all still do get 3 or 4 spaces to grow into. I think that's fine, right, guys? This should be fine. This is fine. Yeah. And then we could still use the trapdoors for the front part of the chute to make that part look a little bit more attractive, right? Oops, why am I shrinking? There we go. We could still have like this be the front, right? To make that look kind of cool for our farmers. And then the water will still go up here. And everything will just work except for we'll lose 2 per layer. I like this. Okay, 10 per layer instead of 12. It's still going to give us way more than we're ever going to use. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're doing 10 per layer, and we're doing that design right there. Perfect. Okay. I almost feel like a break. I need a break. I swear, my brain just burned through so much energy right then. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we could do that. We could do that. And then we have the silo going up, and we can do it like pumpkins, melons, pumpkin, melon, and we give it really tall silo with like this farmhouse. And the silo doesn't have to be, the farmhouse can have a bigger footprint than the silo. They just have to be connected, right? And we could even do it where like the farmhouse kind of like starts here and then extends this way, so it's kind of like it's off the corner of the farmhouse and not directly in the back of it. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. These solid blocks, should I keep the farm hidden? You're going to be seeing these things. Should I make them glass so you can see through them? You're going to be seeing the edge of the dirt, and then you're going to be seeing a solid block, and then the next hopper. It's going to be like dirt, solid block, hopper, dirt, solid block, hopper, dirt, solid block, hopper. If those were glass, that you could at least kind of see inside through the water stream. You have to look through the water stream to see. But yeah, we might as well make them glass. Why not? Have a little bit of visibility into the inner workings. That's always going to be fun. All right. Now, one thing I like to do is use white frosted glass instead of clear glass. I just think it looks kind of classier. It does make it harder to see what's going on, but I think it looks. Oh yeah, we have bone meal already. Why is it not giving me the option to make white? Oh, because I have to make the dye first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we go. Boom. There we go. Because I think a bunch of clear glass almost looks more weird and tacky, but the white glass, it's a little bit harder to see through, but it kind of looks a little nicer. Or even like light gray glass. Light gray glass is pretty nice to use as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just finish off this floor for now. Of course, I don't know how big this floor is going to be. Just to give us a platform to walk around on. Sure, we'll end it here for now. Just for now, we're just going to keep things tight and tidy, knowing that we can expand on them whenever the heck we want. There we go. Okay. This is representing the farmhouse. Okay, and then we're going to do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and start. Let's just start doing it. Let's start doing it. So the first layer is going to be all dirt and mud. But those two don't have to be dirt because there's no stem planted on them. So what we can do here, first we're going to start with mud and mud and mud, right? Mud where all the stems are going to be able to grow into. Oh, love the sound. Love that squishy sound. There we go. And then we're going to put dirt. Oh, that was weird. Let's see, I'm thinking that these don't have to be dirt. Those two don't have to be dirt. Oh, because mud is like a half a block, when you go like this, you're actually in that space and you can't place that block. Because even though mud looks solid, you're actually down in it. In fact, watch this. Check this out. This is cool. When you walk over onto it, you actually fall down a little bit. And then you come back up and you fall down. See how your feet go in it? See, and because like if you're standing here, you're technically in that spot and you can't place a block, right? Unless you get all the way out of the way. Fun little Minecraft things. Let's see. So you know what? Those could be light blocks to so that the inside of here is lit up. You don't have to worry about working lights in. Because I was just thinking, like, since these two don't have anything growing, they can be stone. And then I was going to put the white glass here to see through it. But now I'm thinking, because this is a melon and pumpkin farm, oh, I had an even better thought. Even better thought. This one can be a jack-o'-lantern facing backwards, so it just looks like a pumpkin but provides light for the farm. And this one can be a melon. And then that way the little shoots show what... Yeah, let's do that. I love it. I love it. All right, let's get some of these. My inventory is so full. That's enough for now. That's enough for now. All right, and now we're going to need some jack-o'-lanterns. All right, let me get some of this. I need to clear some of this out of my inventory. Okay. Let's go get some jack-o'-lanterns. Let's see. Carved pumpkins. I already have 8 carved pumpkins. I might need more than that. Let's carve all of these. Let's do, yeah, let's do all of these. Yeah, okay. And we should be able to, no, this thing won't do, I have to do a different mechanism for carved pumpkins, which I might do someday. Okay. All right. And we can put, I mean, we're going to need those seeds. I guess I could keep the seeds for now. We're going to need them, right? And then jack-o'-lanterns. Okay, great. Oh, time to sleep already. Okay. That's pretty sky. All right, so then, because this block, let me remove that glass. Because this spot doesn't need to be anything because there's nothing planted on it, we'll put the backwards jack-o'-lantern there. That will provide light into the chamber to let everything grow. And then we put a melon here, and then we put that there. And then that way, you can kind of see behind the trap doors and the water stream, of course. You can kind of see what's going to go up each side. I like it. I like it. And hopefully that will provide enough light. How much light does that provide? It gives you 8s all the way out here. Good. So I was reading something like stems have to be... actually, they might have to be a 9. So... is that light going to be enough? Will these 2 stems grow at a level 8? Technically, though, yeah, no, the stem is level 8. Oh well, if they don't, they don't, I guess. I don't know. I can't. I feel like that should be enough light. I want to look that up. I want to look that up, but I don't want to pause this to look that up. I think the stems, let's assume that that'll work. If that doesn't work, we can somehow work a light block into the structure. But I'll look that up afterwards and find out for sure. Okay, so now what we do is we plant this. Oh, no, I need a hoe. No, we're not going to plant those yet. Because we need to get the layer of mechanism above it. Oh no, yeah, we still need the mechanism that's going to pop them, right? Oh my gosh, yeah. This thing's going to be huge. Because we still need the whole, like, the pistons and the observers, right? And I didn't put hoppers underneath this. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. I didn't plan well enough. I should have stuck with my original plan. I already had it all mapped out. Let's see. Right, because this has to be hoppers first. Right? It has to be hoppers. Now these two, because those two aren't going to be blocks, they can be anything. And then right? Okay. And then we can do this. And then we can put the jack-o'-lantern and the melon. And then we put the dirt. Mud. And then the dirt. Like this. And then the glass. And then we go get our hoe, which is our hoe in our... Should be in here, right? Yeah, there's our hoe. So then we take the hoe and we... Oh, and this needs a water source to hydrate them as well. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. All right. No worries, right? Silos, okay. I mean, this is good. Okay. No, we're good. We can do this. We can figure this out. We're smart people. We can use any waterloggable block like a... Ooh, like an iron grate. How do you make those? How do you make the iron, not iron, copper? How do you make those? Not a be great. I mean, we all be great. Oh, it's 4 blocks. Makes 4 of those. Holy cow. Wow, we don't have much copper, do we? You know what? We'll just use leaves. We'll use leaves. What we can do here is... I was going to say this could be a hydration block, but then this stem still has three legal spots. That can be a hydration spot right there. Right? I mean, then that doesn't need a hopper under it. I can hear the dispenser down there clicking every time it gets one of these. Okay. Right? That hydrates them. That hydrates them. We can just do this. I think that works. And then we put our melon seeds. Or these pumpkin seeds, I guess. Let's see. All right. And now we're going to need 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. We're going to need 10 observers. And we're going to need 3, 5, 10, 12 pistons. 10 observers and 12 pistons. This is such an expensive farm. Oh my gosh. Okay. And it's going to have like a... This is going to need some kind of wall around it. Oh, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. 10 pistons, 10 observers, and 12 pistons for a layer. Oof. Quartz. Okay, I feel like we should have a lot of quartz. Didn't we go netherite mining? Where's all of our quartz blocks? Do I have a chest for quartz? I feel like we should have a lot of quartz. Because when I go netherite mining, I typically mine out all the quartz as well. I'm confused at where my quartz is. Okay, I'm going to be flipping through a lot of chests here. Sorry if this is a little flashy and gross. My apologies, just close your eyes. Oh, man. Okay, I don't know where my quartz is. It's not in the nether, is it? Okay, we're on a hunt for nether quartz. I have no idea where it is. So this is the most impromptu, unplanned thing. I feel a little bad, but I think you guys kind of know what you're in for with this series by now. Usually, even though I'm winging it, I'm usually a little bit more prepared than this. So I need to remind myself even where the netherite mining spot was. This was our old portal, I remember that. And we went down, these guys. That's another reason you could use a shield. Okay, there's our stairwell down over here. And then I think, okay, yeah, and then down here on this platform is where we went down to our netherite mine. Yes. Okay. All right, it's coming back to me. Here's our netherite mine. There's our quartz. Seriously? I didn't bring any of it up top? All right, you're coming. Well, hello, sir. Goodbye, sir. Yeah, let's bring most of that back up with us so that we can not make this mistake again. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just put some of it in our offhand so we can get the other one. And we're going to put this one soul sand in our bundle and get the other one. There we go. Wow. Okay. I would have expected to have at least brought some topside. Let's see. Just got to find our way back here. Because I'm going to need this quartz to make the observers. And if you're talking 10 observers per layer, each one needs 2 quartz. That's 20 quartz per layer. There we go. And we're going to need to make pistons. So this is going to be pretty tall, even if it's literally just 1 layer of pumpkins and 2 layers of melons. It's going to be a pretty tall farm. And thinking about like how quickly they'll produce once the stems are grown, but more importantly, how often I'll need them, which isn't very, because I'm really just going to use them to trade to the farmers to get golden carrots. That's the entire purpose of this. And then, yeah, so. For now, let's dump them in here because this is our ore box. There we go. let's get ourselves an item frame, and we're going to make an actual quartz box right here. Okay. And for now, it's raw quartz. Let's go ahead and make some quartz on the automatic block breaker. Just moving stuff around a little bit. Let's do let's do 3 stacks for now. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 stacks in there and 1 stack in my offhand, and we're gonna get our fortune pick, and we're gonna do it by moonlight. All right, here we go. Cranking through the automatic block breaker. By the way, I thought of a version 2.0 where it actually does item collection as well. I'll have to build that sometime and show you guys. It's the same mechanism, it's just a very slight rearrangement in the blocks. But it works. It's pretty cool. Honestly, that's probably enough quartz for what we're doing right now. That's probably enough. Yeah, that's more than enough. Let's not go crazy with it. There we go. That's more than enough, because this right here would be a stack of observers, right? If we did that many. All right. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do a stack of observers. So we need 2 quartz, a redstone, and then I think cobblestone, right? I think. Boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe that's the recipe right there. So that should make a stack of them. Yep. Why did that only make 32? I don't understand. Wait a minute. Hold on. Didn't I have a whole stack of redstone there? What just happened? What just happened? Oh, it's 1 quartz and 2 redstone. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, there we go. Need even less than I thought. Well, there you go. I'm going to need redstone on top of the thing. Yeah, let's keep some of those out. Okay, now I need to make pistons. I have 41 pistons. Let's just start with what I have. I need 12 per layer. Heck, if we only do 3 layers, then that's enough. Yeah. We're so safe. I'm playing at nighttime because I'm throwing caution to the wind here. And everything over here is not spawnable, right? Let me just double check that. Okay. Yeah. So we're building at night. Okay. So now what I do is while these little stems are here and I have something to target, you can put the observers. If you target the little, you have to wait for that little, it's hard for you to see probably because but a little wireframe kind of opens up around the stem when you get positioned right, and then you can target the top of it to put your observer down. Like that. Because the observers are looking at the stems, and the observers are looking for changes in the stem. Because whenever it grows a new fruit/vegetable, then the stem will like bend to touch it, and that is a change. See, that one just detected a growth change actually. You just saw it flash. Now we need to get up underneath that to put the pistons down. So we're going to need a trapdoor. And that trapdoor, we can just put the trapdoor here, just enough to get us scrunched down. Here we go. And then the pistons, If you kind of come like this, and you can target the side of the observer there and get the piston placed. And you have to be careful you don't like poke your head up in one of those holes, or else you'll stand up and then you'll be stuck. You're going to have to break blocks most likely to get out. There we go. And then the other corner here. And that should be all of them. Okay. No, melons can grow here. So I was about to say we were going to block that off, but we don't, because this is, if we're only going to do one layer of pumpkins, then this right here can be like a solid wall. Right. But for now we do have to box this in, because if anything does grow, they could pop out the sides. So this will eventually have to be something over here. This is going to be watermelons coming down. Okay. Whereas this one will be solid wall. Unless we do another layer of pumpkins somewhere up, then this becomes a stream of hoppers as well. Right, so if we're just doing one layer of pumpkins, that's wall. This is going to be melons. Yep. There we go. That should be one layer of our farm. So once those stems grow, you know what? That's going to be piston needs to go here. Piston needs to go here. So we need, yeah, because that was only 10 that we placed. Yeah, the other 2. Oh, that's my fortune pick. I didn't know I still had that on me. Let's see. Let's put that in there. We need to get back underneath there and do those last 2 as well. So this one needs to be a piston as well, as does this one here. There we go. Okay, again, designing on the fly here. Designing on the fly. You just kind of have to bear with me. We'll get there eventually. All right, and then that's blocked off so they don't fly out the front. That one's blocked off by the hopper. And then up here, we put a dot on each observer. And you see how it spreads out? Oh, you just heard a piston trigger. That activates the pistons that are surrounding it. So no matter which side the melon, whenever this stem triggers this observer, no matter which side the melon grew on, it'll pop all 4 of them. It'll hit a piston down, and then regardless, it'll pop them. There you go. So that's actually done. So the melon layer is done. We could get back in there actually and grow the seeds so they can actually start producing pumpkins. Let's do that. No need to wait, right? So if we can get in here, we can go ahead and grow all of these up. Oh boy, that was weird. See, each change triggers the pistons. Oh, wow, that was did you see that? That was a pumpkin. All right. the pumpkin farm is now working. Like legit working. See, look. That's the first fruit of our labor. Literally. Literally. Where is our... Oh, did I stick him in here? Just for the heck of it. Just for the heck of it. Let's get... Hey! Oh no! What did I do? What did I do? Oh, when did that get removed? Grumble, grumble, grumble. Oh boy. Okay. Hey, am I missing a repeater? There it goes. Okay. All right. At least we noticed it. We can fix it now. Let's see. Repeater to boost the signal. And then this to wrap it around. There we go. Problem solved. And now we can pretend that our pumpkin was just made. Boop. Okay. I think this is a perfect time for my mid-episode break. So I'm going to go stretch my legs, shake the cobwebs off my head. Now that, well, let's see, that's a bad metaphor too. I'm going to go unscramble the eggs that are my brain. Of course, you can't unscramble an egg either. This is terrible metaphors. I'm terrible with metaphors. My brain is so broken. I'm terrible with my metaphors. I'll be back in just a second. Okay. Okay. All right. Legs have been stretched. Brain has been, well, scrambled even more because I've thought of something. Oh, look at that. Look at that pumpkin. Boop. Very nice. We need to auto craft the melons, and I was thinking we could either do it at the top after they go up the chute before they come down into the storage, or we can just do it at the bottom. Let's do it at the bottom. So we're going to work that into here somehow. Okay. Okay, here's how we're going to do it. This isn't going to be here. Okay, we're going to move this. Just for this side. That's fine. Let's see. So this one... we're going to put the dropper here on this side. Oh, not safe, not facing up. We need to... There we go. Get out of here. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be the dropper. And this mechanism will still work the same way. We're going to swing it around this side instead. Okay. Okay, still does the same thing, except now underneath here is going to be the crafter. So we need to make the crafter. Let me put some of this away. There we go. Okay. So, crafters. How do we make those? You need a crafting table and stuff. It's so hard for me to commit any. When I say new, I mean, geez. Like I used to have like all the recipes memorized when you needed to memorize them. But I just can't memorize anything new. And I say new, that's within the last several years. Okay, so you need a dropper and a crafting table, 2 redstones, and 5 irons. So, Oh, those are all dispensers. So redstone, more redstone. Droppers. Droppers are these things. This stuff here. Okay. Droppers. Sure, 9. Okay, that's good. Crafting tables I would have over here with workbenches. Hey, 2, perfect. And iron. Iron. Okay. Let's make, I'm going to make 2. I'm going to show you why. I use 1 to do the signal going into the other one. It can be anything that produces a signal of 8, but we're going to use just another crafter to produce the signal. We don't need the rest of these droppers. We need 2 crafters. We're going to need some more comparators. So we're going to need some more comparators. We'll probably need repeaters, I think. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how the circuit goes. It's a very simple circuit, but I just need to remember how it goes. I need stone to make the comparators. There we go. Okay. Put some of that away because my inventory really is getting unmanageable. All right. Hope you enjoyed that break. It was a nice break for me. It was a single transition. I'll look at that little happy melon, happy pumpkin. All right, so now this is going to. I'm thinking it's going to do this, and then with just a hopper going like this, because I don't want to rearrange how these things fall down, and the dispenser has to shoot into the stream. So I think we're just going to go crafter into hopper, hopper into dispenser, right? So anything that this crafts goes in here, gets spit out. Yep, that works. Okay, good. We are good for that. And then we just have to do the crafter circuit. And let me get the sun back up for this. All right. And now this is a little bit where the redstone is going to have to come out past the border of this. We'll just have to remember when we're building that we don't dig down into it. Okay, so this is let's see that one there. You need the other one coming into it. That means that one can't be. You know what I can do? I can do it with a block. Okay, yeah, we got this. We're going to have to do a little building underneath there, so I'm going to need a trap door because I don't want to start tearing up this floor. This floor can be torn up because it's just blocks. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, this... Okay, perfect. Now we got all the space we need. So, I always forget this, is that a repeater, a comparator, can read directly from the device or through a block from the device. So this right here reads what's coming out of this. So if we put one thing in here, it's now reading a signal, right? Even though it's through the block. So there you go. Perfect. Now what we want to do is whenever this thing receives a signal, we want to boost it to a full signal. And then we want to just bring that back around. We're going to need another repeater because we don't want this to go into that comparator. So we need the repeater to keep it going straight right there. So now when we do something in there, we should get, see now it's receiving a redstone signal. But we only want it to receive a redstone signal when there's 9 melon slices in there. And the way we do that is we put this in subtract mode. So whatever power, so whenever there's one thing in here, it's sending out a power of 1. Now it's a 2. Now it's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when it's full, it's sending out a strength of 9. Okay? So what we want to say is we don't want this to light up until this is 9. And the way we do that is we put this in subtract mode, and then we put a signal of 8 coming into this side of it. So subtract mode says, whatever signal I'm receiving, subtract the thing that's coming from my side from it. So if this is coming in as a 1, well, it's hard to demonstrate because I didn't put anything back here. We have to make a signal 8 coming into here. So we're going to put, in this case, another... Well, hello, sir. Hello. What you got? Cherry saplings? Acacia? You know what? You guys just have fun. I'm not even going to mess with you guys this time. So, we want this to be a signal of 8. Okay, we could do it like that. We could do it like that. We could do it whatever. As long as there's only 8 of these blocks, this is now emitting a signal of 8 into this. So, if I put a power of 1 in here, 1 minus 8 is -7. So, therefore, that's still 0. Right, okay, guys. All right, now, okay, guys, if you're going to be like this, all right, look away if you like llamas. Yeah, just move on. There we go. You know what? We're just going to get your leads and call it a day. I would have left you alone if you didn't get right up in my face, and I can't even fit this stuff. There we go. So then when the next thing falls in here, that's only a signal of 2. 2 minus 8 is -6. That's still a 0. So it's not going to try, it's not going to get a signal. See, now this should be 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. That's still a 0. But then once the 9th thing comes in there, now it really does a signal, and that triggers this. Now this can't be crafted into anything, so it just didn't do anything. But if that was craftable, it would have crafted just then. Like if it was bone meal, if we went doop, 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 bump, 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 and now this one makes 9, it gets crafted into a bone block and spit out the dispenser, just like that. So that's how that works. That's how that works. This is about the simplest way you can do a auto crafter, is where you're just doing like, you know, everything is the same thing, right? If you were doing like 3 sugar canes into paper, if you block these off, then it would be like that's 6, 7, 8, and then this one makes 9. Boom, it gets power and it crafts them. Same principle. All right, so that right there, that is the circuit. That is done. We can fill this back in here. I just want to cover those up so that we know that the circuit is there. Oh! Hey, did that just go to one of our, what you call it there? See. Oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. Yeah, see, we put those around to protect our villagers way back early in the season. This is cool. I haven't seen this happen. I haven't seen this work yet. This is neat. Cool. Let's watch. Let's watch the show. Come on. Do it again. Okay, fine. As soon as we pulled back, it stopped with the lightning. Cool, it's good to see that those things are working. Yeah, because those were to make sure the lightning didn't strike our villagers who were out in the open. Awesome. I love seeing that in action. Okay, so let's just, let's see. All right, and then we can cover this back up. All right, there we go. Perfect. So now this will actually spit out crafted melons instead of the slices. And then the actual melons will go into our inventory instead of the slices. Awesome. Okay, good. So that's working. So now we just have to do the melon layers. Now I wanted to show you some math. Let's play with math. How am I going to demonstrate this? Let's okay. Let me do some demonstrations here. And I'm going to need these to be slices. Okay, I'm going to need a couple of seeds. Okay, here we go. All right. We're going to do melon math. Melon math here. When I trade with these guys, typically their trades should be pretty much even, right? So he'll take, that's not even, is it? It's not even. It's 6 of one and 4 of the other. If we were to zombify this guy, he potentially could be 1 and 1. Let's assume after zombification, he's 1 pumpkin and 1 melon per emerald. So the point is assuming that. So in other words, everything I'm about to tell you could be based on a poor assumption. So take everything I'm about to tell you with a massive, massive grain of salt. Speaking of salts and melons, back when I worked at the grocery store many, many moons ago, one of the guys in produce tried to convince me that putting salt on a watermelon is really, really good and amazing and wonderful. And I have never done it in my life because to me it just sounds like it's not going to be good. But I have to trust that it was going to be good. But I'd never done it. Okay, so let's do some melon math. Okay, so we all know that for every 1 stem of pumpkin, when it grows and you harvest the pumpkin, you get 1 pumpkin, right? Okay, we know that. Whenever it's harvested by something like a piston, right? Obviously, if you're silk touching things, this doesn't throw out. But the fact that we're harvesting with pistons, that means they're going to be breaking like normal. Now, 1 melon seed produces between 3 and 7 slices. Okay, hold on a second. Let me move this over here. Let me move this to here. Okay, right. So between 3 and 7 slices, which means on average it's going to make 5. Okay, it can do 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. On average, that means 5. So over time, on average, you could say that every stem is going to make 5 slices. So if you want the same number of pumpkins down here as you get melons, so that when the farm is producing and you come in here and grab melons and pumpkins, you want them to be, the storages to be filled up about the same, so that when you then trade them to your guy who hopefully takes 1 of each after we zombify him, you want an even number, because if they're not relatively even, you're going to end up with like a mass amount. You know, if it ends up that that's what your storage looks like, you're going to have a ton of pumpkins after you've used up all your melons, or vice versa if you don't get them right. Okay, so what you want is an even amount to come out. So that means for every pumpkin stem that you plant, if you were to plant 2 melon seeds, you would come out with an average of 10 slices, right? On average. On average, every time each of these stems are harvested, you'll end up with 1 pumpkin and 10 slices of melon. Well, ultimately that comes down to 1 pumpkin, 1 melon, and 1 slice. Okay? So if you do 1 to 2 ratio, you're getting 1 melon per pumpkin, but you're also getting an additional melon slice, right? I'm going to keep hearing that. Keep coming over here. I should put something to collect those. let's put a temporary collection over there. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so back to the melon math. Now this means that for every dang it. Okay. For every 9 harvests, okay, you're going to get 9 of these. You're going to get 9 of those, and you're going to get 9 of those. Okay? Of course, this 9 translates into a 10th, right? So if you do a 1 to 2 ratio, you're going to end up after every 9 stems that you plant, if you plant 1 of each, you're going to end up with an extra melon, right? So you're going to your melons will outpace your pumpkins at this point, right? So that's what you end up with. Which means if you double the number of stems, you end up getting the same amount, but you get an extra one. So that kind of throws it off. So if you want to find the right number of stems to do this, you need to figure out what the ratio is. Now, so this ends up with 10, right, with these two. So now if we want this, we need 10 to come out of this harvest, right? So thinking about, instead of this being like 9 harvests, say this was 9 stems and this was 18 stems, okay? So if this was 9 stems and this was 18 stems, this is what you would come out with. But if this was 10 stems and this was 18, you would get 10 and 10. So, are you following me? The ratio, if you want to get the same number of pumpkins and melons on average over time, means you need to, let me get it, you need to plant, for every 10 pumpkins that you plant, you need to plant 18 melons. And then that right there, and you can break that down further and say for every 5 you have to plant 9. Okay? It's math, right? So it's not quite double, right? So every 5 stems you plant 9 melons, right? Every 10 you plant 18, and so forth, so on. It grows like that. So all that to say, on this bottom of this farm, man, these things are just cranking out, aren't they? This is going to make so many. So we made, was it 10? I think it was actually 10. Let's cheaty cam our way in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 10 pumpkin stems. 10 pumpkin stems, right? Oop, oh, wrong key. Pretend that was edited out. Which means that layer was 10. This would be great if I had the right number of seeds in here. Which means I need 2 layers of melons, each with 9, right? So my farm is going to go 10, 9, 9, right? That should, over time, produce the same number of melons and pumpkins, and then our farm will be even. And hopefully our farmers, will actually need an even number of each. Because we're going to zombify them, and hopefully they'll both say 1 melon or 1 pumpkin for an emerald, and we want them even. So our farm is going 10, 9, 9. Okay, that's what all of that was for, to point that out to you. So the next layer is not going to be 10 melons, and the next layer is not going to be 10 melons. It's going to be 2 layers of 9 melon stems. So we're going to have 1 less melon stem in each layer than we have pumpkin stems, since we conveniently ended up with a with a 10, which is pretty awesome. I did not do that on purpose. Although, in hindsight, I should have done that on purpose. Let me sleep. All right, did I scramble your brains now? Are your brains scrambled? Okay, I got so much junk. I just need a double chest. Okay, here you go. Just get it all. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're empty now. Okay, now we need to build. You know what? I do need to just make something to collect these because this is getting a little too redonkulous. I just don't need these things being unruly. Where did this go? There we go. Where's our buckets? There's our buckets. Let's get some. We need to make an infinite water pool over here. Let's go ahead and get some infinite water. I like doing the little jump fly thing because you can kind of start getting some air on them. Like that. All right. So did you follow the math? Did that make sense? If it didn't make sense, just go back and rewatch it. I really wish I could have explained it a little bit more cleaner. Like, I would take that explanation and I would clean it up and I would edit it, and then it would be like presented in an easy to follow fashion, and you all would be blown away by it. Right. All right, now let's get back to what we were doing. I'm getting these pumpkins to stop being stupid. Let me just. Where's Here we go. This is all temporary. What we're doing right here. I just need to. I don't want to keep losing these pumpkins. There we go. There we go. Now they should pop up here and flow into there. Good. Perfect. You know, some of these pumpkins we need for... No, it's the jack-o'-lanterns that we need. Bloop, there we go. Okay, now. Breathe. Okay? Now we need to duplicate the farm we just made in 2 more layers, each of them being melons, except we're going to plant 1 less stem on each layer intentionally. Okay? That's what we're doing. Okay, we can... And again, I'm hitting the wrong key. See, F4, F5 does this. F4 does free cam, and they're right next to each other. So when I hit the button without looking, I almost always hit the wrong one. And I'm still in the... Gosh, there we go. Okay, there we go. All right. Yep. Okay, now let's go ahead and build the next layer. We know exactly what we're doing now. And I'm thinking that if 1 layer is this tall, 3 layers is going to be more than enough. It's going to make perfectly sized silo for our medieval-ish town. Although I don't think this is how medieval silos would have been done. This is much more of a modern silo. Hey! Oh, it went way up. That's funny. It shot way up and then back down into the water. You know what? I should probably put, just for the temporaries, that right there. So it doesn't keep doing that. That's pretty funny, though. Yeah, I don't think the medievals had silos quite like this. This is more of a modern invention, I think, or at least more modern than medieval, because you have to transport the grain to the top of the silo to use this. Never mind. We're not getting into that. Who cares if it's realistic? It's Minecraft, right? So now we need to do 2 more layers of this. So what do we do? So I think I'm going to put a layer of stone just to separate the... Okay, where's my... I put everything away. Okay, here we go. Here's my this. I don't want this redstone messing with the hoppers above it. I mean, granted, it'll just lock them very temporarily, so it's probably not that big a deal. I'm just thinking... Yeah. Does my next layer start here, or does my next layer start here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically 5 because of redstone. So it'd be like another 10 layers. It'd be like another 12 layers if I did a stone in between. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I don't think every once in a while a hopper being locked for like a tick is going to affect the farm in any negative way. So we'll do hoppers. We're not gonna do the stone layer in between each. We'll just save ourselves 2 layers. So we'll do hoppers next. Hope you guys are enjoying this and this isn't too much of me being rambly. Let's see. Well, if you're not enjoying it, you're probably not here anymore. Let's see. I'm still gonna run hoppers underneath. Hold on a second. What's going on with my? Hold on a second. I feel like. Oh no, the middle. Oh, that's right, because the middle was the water source, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. So now on this one. Oh shoot, the redstone is right there. It has to be up another one. That's right, because the redstone does count for a layer. Oh, nope. There we go. Okay. So that's our next layer, started there. I think that's right. Pretty sure that's right. If it's not right, we'll find out. So then we're going to just continue this. Right? Okay. So now in this case, this is going to keep going up to the next layer, right? So now we have to do the, we're going to need a melon, a jack-o'-lantern, or melon, jack-o'-lantern. We're going to need water and bucket. We're going to need our hoe. We're going to need melon seeds. We're going to need more. Well, no, we need 18. We already went through the math. Let's see. We're going to need to grow some of them. Let's see. What else do we need for this layer? That's it for this layer. Okay. So then we're doing... Yep. So this goes... Oh, we need mud and dirt. Okay, mud and dirt. Okay, perfect. So we start with mud, and then we go dirt. And I already put that in the wrong spot. And that just went down to our auto crafter. I should probably make a way to access our auto crafter whenever things like this get in it. And then the mud, because that one could still get a growth on it. There we go there. Okay. This is bothering me. Let me just get it out of there. There it is. There it is. I'll leave this exposed for now just so that I can get in. Oh, I'm going to spill water one day. No, see, look, that's supposed to be there. Okay, there we go. I'll leave it like that for now. Okay. So now, on here. So now this is this, and then this one is a water. That goes there. That goes there. And now we're going to do all of these. Okay. And we're going to plant, but we're only going to plant 9 stems. The one... Hold on. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's the one that I didn't plant. Okay. Well, that's not the one that I wouldn't want to plant because I want to make sure that the one that I don't plant is a one that only grows 3. So this is the one we're going to undo. I'm going to plant it there. Okay. I'm going to need another melon slice later. So this won't be a stem, but like the ones that these pop could still land on these squares. So we'll still keep this tilled so that it is can still be picked up by the hopper. There's just no stem there. That should be fine. That should be fine. Now for this here, we wanted this to be jack-o'-lantern to light up the... Nope, wrong side. Wrong side. We want this side to be the jack-o'-lantern because that's the pumpkin side. We want this side to be a melon to match the jack-o'-lantern. And those are providing the light because then we're putting glass on top of these two. Right? And then we're continuing this wall like this. Okay, I think this is right. Now we're going to need to sleep and get our observers and our pistons and a trapdoor for the next layer. Okay. One of you have probably already noticed I've missed something, and I'm sure I have. But we're just rolling with it for now. We're rolling with it. Okay. Probably start putting some more of these up here. We can go ahead and grow these now so that they're not... There we go. You know what? That's not very smart because they're going to be growing melons while we're trying to work. Oh, okay, I will not do that anymore. I will still put that there. Here. Yeah, now those melons are going to be growing in our faces while we're trying to work. That was dumb. Let's see. Oh. Darn it. Loop, there it goes. That was down in the autocrafter. Okay, and then this one doesn't need to be an observer because there's nothing here. We'll just do that to keep it blocked. Okay. Oh, no. That one is going to be a piston. Okay, so now we need to get the pistons down. So I need to get up under here. Like this. Oh, see, and this is what happens if you accidentally stand up. Now I'm stuck. So you have to be careful that you don't actually stand up inside there. Okay, piston. Here we go. There. Okay. That one's going to be a piston when we leave here. This one's going to be a piston. I'm going to have to get back under here to do the... No, I'm already under here. I can do the bone meal while I'm under here. Ooh, almost went too far. Okay. Is that all the pistons? Okay. Let's go ahead and do the rest of the bone meal while we're here. Oh, they're not triggering because I don't have the redstone up there yet. Nice. Okay, good. I did that on purpose. I did that totally on purpose. Okay, and that just went into the hopper. All right. The crafter. Boop, boop. Okay. Now let me get the redstone in place. And then I believe this layer is done. Hold on a second. Let me just take a look and make sure there's no... Okay, there's no melons currently grown. Okay, good. We're good. Okay. Now we need to put the ring around the rosy so that we don't have anything flying out the side. Now, some of this is probably not spawn proof. Okay. I think that side is done. So now, oh, I put the redstone up there, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, we just haven't had any grow yet. Oh, darn it. Dang it. Hey, look at that. We're up to 40 pumpkins already. Okay, I would have expected a few more to have grown by now. Did I just hear something pop? Okay, let's just take a look in here. What's going on? I just want to see. Now, see, I'm wondering if this backside isn't lit up enough. I still wonder about that light level, if it's 8 or 9 is acceptable. Because I think these stems were technically at a light level. Oh, there we go. There's one. Nice. These 2 stems are technically a light level of 8, I believe. Is what we saw earlier. So I'm hoping that they actually can grow. I mean, it would be the same for the pumpkins as well if we were down here at the pumpkin level. Because if like these 2 stems are never going to grow on any of those layers, that's dumb. I would need to make sure they're lit. So there we go. So that one made 4. See? And then once we get 5 more, this should make ourselves a melon, and it should be ejected into there. So let's what was that? It wasn't one of these. What just clicked? Oh, that was a pumpkin. Oh, look at that. The pumpkin's like here. Oh, I bet it can get out this little spot. Oh, that's not good. I wonder how that's going to affect this. I hope melons don't get stuck on these. Oh no, I hope not. So one thing with ejecting it, like if it was okay, that made me see how this pumpkin was ejected this direction, and it got caught on the bottom of this hopper. So when it ejected, it got onto this edge and it got caught. I was thinking that when the droppers are pointing this way, that they'll kind of ride up that back wall. But now that this dropper is shooting this way, he could technically get stuck on this side wall and then get stuck on a hopper. So we might have a little bit of a uh-oh. I don't know where those came from. Oh, from when I broke them just now. Yeah, okay. Oops. Did they get in there? No. So now I'm wondering with this dispenser, look at that. Hey, well we know at least one melon worked. With this dispenser, if it's shooting this direction, there's a real possibility that melons are going to get stuck on these hoppers and not make it all the way up. See, on this one, there won't be hoppers on the front side, right? Because this is just temporary. That'll just be a chute. On this side, this is going to be a problem. So how do I engineer around this problem? I want the dispenser to shoot this way so that everything rides up that back wall. Okay? We can fix the problem. I'm glad I noticed that. Thank you, Temporary Pumpkin, for pointing out a flaw that I did not realize we had. Okay, so we can fix this. We're smart. We can do it. Okay, here we go. And the way we do it is this crafter faces down, the dropper is below it facing that way, and then it's redstone signal. There we go. That's exactly how we fix it. Look at that. Already problem solved. Problem solved. No biggie. We got this. So that's going to be down here, and we're going to have to be facing this way to do some of this. So this crafter is full inventory. Stupid inventory. Okay. Let's get some of that out of my inventory. Okay, good enough. Now, this crafter is going to face down. Okay. And then this dropper, this will be one lower. Boom. There we go. Okay. This dropper will be here, shooting into the water stream, and then hopefully things will ride up that back wall and not get stuck on any hoppers. It always turns dark right when I get in the middle of something. And then this one's redstone comes out this way. Okay. So this goes. Nice. See, look at that. Problem solved. We got this. We got this. We're smart. Okay, now I'm fully confident we can finish this before the end of the episode. We got about 45-ish more minutes left, and I think everything has been worked out. We just have to duplicate that layer one more. So I think we got it. Let's just throw the rest of those slices in there. Okay. We're good. Okay. Yeah, we'll just do that. And we'll deal with making that a stream when we're done. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, okay. But it's already cranking through, so I kind of feel like I want to like not lose those melons either. Where's our water stream? Here we go. I'm going to leave this open for now, just in case we get more garbage blocks in that. we can clean them out. Let's see. Okay, that'll spit the melons up. That will you know what we'll do? We'll just spit them into one of these things. Yeah, we're not going to get 5 stacks of them before I'm done with this farm. Let's see. I could have done that in the other one too. There we go. So this will collect all the melons that are crafted between now and then. Cool. Perfect. Yeah, see, look at that. It's, yeah, that's... Again, this will run into the same problem for now, but once these temporary hoppers are moved, hopefully it won't be an issue. Okay. All right, next layer. Next layer. I wonder. Nope, doesn't matter. I was thinking like I could put a pumpkin and a melon just in the middle of here to keep it going, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It's all going to be hidden by that blue water anyway. Okay, let's just do the next layer and stop worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. Okay, so what are we going to need? What do we not need? We don't need the kelp. We do need the bone meal. We might need a little bit more bone meal. We're going to need another stem. Okay, we're going to need stems. We got our dirt. We got our hoppers. We got everything, right? We need a jack-o'-lantern and a melon. And I think we got everything we need. So, except our scaffolding. Let's just ride it up the middle here again. Okay, final layer. Here we go. Nice. Final layer right there. Boom, boom, boom. And we're going all the way across, right? Isn't that what we're doing? No. Starting it here. Already screwed up. What did I screw up? I didn't screw up anything. This goes like this, and then there's one over here. That's okay. That's what I thought I screwed up. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. We got this. We got this. Okay. Oh, see that pro move right there? Did y'all see that? Did you catch that? That was pretty awesome. Don't try to rewind. It's too hard to. And this. Let's see. All right, now we do the layer of dirt and mud. Mud. I'm going to forget something. And mud. There we go. We start with mud in the corner, and then we do checkerboardy. Checkerboardy. There we go. Those are all of our muds. We need another one of these. No, we don't. No, we don't, because that's the end of this side. And I'm going to pop that, and it's going to go down into our thingy. Let me just get that, because we haven't farm actively working. We don't need that in our way. Okay. All right. We need to put down our dirt. I didn't expect this to take this long, guys. I say that every time. Everything I do, I say I don't expect it to take this long. pumpkins on this side, so that's our lit up jack-o'-lantern, and there we go, boom. And then we're going to do all of these. We're going to do that so that the things can fall through it, but we're just not going to plant one on it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that was a golem. I thought that was another. I thought that was a set of llamas out of the corner of my eye. Okay, so that's good. This can be an actual block now. Okay, and now we don't want stuff. We don't want those drops landing there, so we're going to block those off. We're going to go ahead and, can I get the side of that hitbox? Oh, pro move right there. Boom, look at that. Oh, we don't want to do this yet because we need to get in there. Oh, that's fine. The sides are fine. No, we want to be able to get off the sides just in case. Oh, and that's probably going into the hoppers. Oh, you stinker. Why did I do that? I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, did any of them get into a hopper over here? Yep, I knew it. Oh, because I didn't block this top. There we go. Okay. So you have to be careful. Everything I do now goes into that crafter, because if it goes in the pumpkin one, it just ends up in the chests. But, well, that was a fun, safe landing. That was a exciting, unexpected win. Okay. All right. Now, let's finish this thing off. Oh, I did this so I can get into with one of the trapdoors. All right. Stop messing around, Oda. Just do your job. Do your job. All right. That's right. That is not going to be observer because that is not an actual stem. Doesn't need to be. Okay. That one can just be a temporary, not temporary, but a thing. Okay. All right. Yep. Perfect. 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 Okay. And now we need to get underneath and do our thingamajigs. Can I? Fine. I'll do it this way. Okay, thingamajigs. These pistons. I was hoping, my intention was that this farm would have taken like maybe the first half, maybe a little bit longer, and then we would have been doing our villagers and stuff. Okay, and while we're under here, we only have 10 bone meals left. So that was a little bit of a fail on my part. Oh, we don't have our, up there yet. Oh man, we need our redstone up there. See, now that's going to go into the crafter. Arrgh. Okay. It's raining. Alright, let's get the redstone going so that these things actually operate. I should have done that before I put the pistons down. Okay, so that operates. Now let me go get this melon out of the thing and then go get some more bone meal real quick. Nope, don't have any here. All right, we're on the final stretch here. The final stretch. Okay. All right. Bone meal. Bone meal. Oh, we're just getting regular bone meal. We have it over here. Boom. Let's grab a stack. All right. What am I umming? What am I umming? Why am I umming? Okay. Oh, that was fun. Just kind of bouncing me around. This needs to be a piston as well. That one over there is, right? Yep. Okay. I believe that's done. Now I can do my little ninja move here and do the side of that hitbox. Boom, look at that. Okay. Let's do this little ring so that these things don't go flying off the side. I believe that's done. I believe that is done. Hey, we have a couple more. That's nice. So now, let me, okay, dump most of this. Okay, I'm going to need the buckets, I'm going to need this, and I'm going to need bone meal. The buckets, let's see, I'm going to need to empty the bucket for now. Let me pull out some of this temporary stuff here so that I can kind of start cleaning that up. Okay. Okay, now I need to get rid of those next two source blocks just so I can clean up these temporaries. All right, now it is funny that one of them is a line of hoppers and one of them is a line of stone, but that's okay. Look at the pumpkin. Okay. There's an aspect of this I haven't thought about yet, and that is the storage. Oh, look at that. They both work. Look at those happy little fruits. I'm calling them both fruits right now because that is a fruit. Let's see. Okay, this one probably can go. This is where the top of our water stream is going to be. Okay. Okay, I'm looking for trapdoors. There they are. I was like, I know I had more trapdoors than that. I just couldn't see them in my inventory. It's funny, when my inventory is blank, I have a harder time seeing things. Alright, so that is going to be our water chute. So I think what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to take out these. I'm going to take out those water sources because I'm going to be swimming down it to do it instead of building on it bucket by bucket. I'm just going to take them out and do them like from scratch. It's going to be easier. Okay, so now I need to take out one more there because it's one deeper. There we go. Okay. Okay. Now, Yeah. Yeah, we're good. We're good. There's my rockets. I can use my rockets to get up there. Smooth as butter. All right, now let's get our bone meal and our thingy things. And then we're going to plant the thingy thing and then bone meals till it stops. We're going to break it and then we're going to go pew! Nice. Love it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. And we're going to do that and we're going to go. Excellent. And now we're going to spend the next half an hour making an actual storage because I was thinking we were done and wasn't even thinking, well, now we have to store the silly things. But this should be easy. This should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and all those wonderful things. So we're going to need hoppers and chests. Hoppers and chests. Now, I have no reason not to make this just a tower of storage. Why not? We're just going to crush it, make sure nothing got in there. Oh, nothing can get in there now because the hoppers are capped off. Yeah. Oh, did you see that melon just go flying? That was cool. All right, so we're going to need water source to start a stream going sideways, and it's going to go into a hopper. It's going to go into a tower O chest. So let's make our tower of chests. We need chests. I made so many hoppers thinking, I was seriously thinking I was going to do like now another layer of pumpkins, melons, and melons, but this thing would just be massive. That is close. That is good enough. We're not going to have to craft hoppers for a long time. We are going to need a lot of chests, though. Let's get them out of the... let's get them out of jungle. Those are the quickest to replace because jungle trees grow so big. How many chests is that? That's 32. That's only 16 per side. We're going to need a lot more. A lot more. Let's get 2 of those as well. Okay. Okay. Now, let's make our tower O chests. Pumpkin went up and I looked away and then I looked back up. That was really weird on the screen. So how do I want to do this? I think the chests stick out that way. Or do they go this way? Let's do... We need a temporary block. Thanks for the pumpkin. If we do our chests like this... And that goes down 1 and then over. Okay. Then what we need here is we need... Oh, I need some kind of building blocks. We need these. That melon. Oh, I love it. This is so much fun watching these guys. Let's see. So we need this hopper to go into the chest. And we're going to need to make it happen. Like this. And like that. And like that. And I'm okay with blocking the top chest from opening because we're never going to actually get up there and open it. But you know what? It's always good to be able to see if it's empty or not. So that should probably be an upside down stair. Yep, that should be an upside down stair. And I need to sleep. Okay. All right, let's see. So then that goes the stair, and then we just finish the water chute, and then we're gonna need to come down because we need 2 buckets of water. We're gonna need 2 more buckets of water to do the other side. Oh, I almost just tried to fly with my carrots. All right, so then this one is going to be an upside down stair like this. And then another one like that so that it looks like it's full blocks up top, but that chest can still open. And that being a stair like that is going to screw it all up because the water's not going to flow right. So instead we need to be more like I'm fine if this top chest doesn't get opened. Again, we're only going to be accessing it from the bottom chests, and then things will trickle down as we empty it. So if I ever need to look in that top chest, I'll just deal with it. I just realized that I can't look into that top chest. This is going to be so much storage. This is like an insane amount of storage. This is so funny. Okay. Let's see. And then we're going to put our 2 buckets of water in here. One there and one there. And then we cap it off. Boom. Now, the fun part. Excuse me. Get that for the next go around. Let's see. We can get these silly things out of our inventory. Chests. And hoppers. And these things. How am I going to do this on this scaffolding? So now what we do here is that I mean temporary blocks, so I have nothing to target. Let's see. So when you're here and you shift, you just keep going down. Hold on, can you actually like... No. There's just no way you can... Well, you can do it like that. That's awkward. But whenever there's none underneath and you shift, you just stop there and you're shifted. Right, so you can like shift and then place that. That means you have to do this every time and then shift so that you can place that. Right, and then shift like that. And then shift like that. So we're going to do this all the way to the bottom. But unfortunately, because of all the shifting and the scaffolding, it's kind of weird. Okay. And then basically, that's going to go all the way down to the bottom. And that makes the kind of a thing where every chest empties into every other chest. So as you empty the bottom chest, the top ones drain down into it. If you were to run the hoppers down one side, all pointing into the chest that were all down one side, then everything that gets left off in a chest does not get back down to the bottom. So this right here lets it go top to bottom and continue emptying as it goes. So how can I do this a little bit more easily with a pillar of dirt? Don't be dumb. We're just going to do it with a pillar of dirt instead. be here. Okay. So now we're going to go boom. Boom. Right, and then boom, boom, boom. So technically we could go ahead and do this and then just go this this side, this side, this side, this side. Break that. Okay, there we go. Okay, 1, 2. This side, this side, this. See, look at, we got these pumpkins. They're heading down. Boy, I missed that one a lot, don't I? My ninja hitbox skills that I showed off earlier are just not in effect now. Okay. That's 'cause I'm getting anxious. I want this to be done. There we go. And the pumpkins end up on the bottom. That's going to hold a lot of pumpkins. Now I need to do the same thing on this side. Let's just start at the top. Yeah, that was enough. Yeah, that was enough of those. Yeah, okay, good. This will work. And I'm going to have to remember to come up here with torches because there's probably a lot of blocks up here that are not spawn-proofed like those. And all of these. All right, so this was simply, we went... yeah, okay. So we had a temporary block so that we could place the chest here. Going this way. Okay. And then this went in here. And this made a nice little box around it. We decided that this was okay to block. Come here, you melon. Let me stick you in here. Oop. All right, and then here we have our 2 buckets of water. One here, one here. We'll cap this off. Boom, done. Uh-oh, what just happened? Oh my gosh. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Why can't I target that? What's going on? Did I break a trap door? Did I... What did I do? Hopefully that didn't break anything. No, I think all of our redstone is hidden. I think we're safe. Okay, everything is still good down here. Okay, I just didn't get a block on top of that trap door. Okay. All right, crisis averted. We're good. Okay. So now we just need hoppers and chests and dirt blocks. Yep, that all looks correct to me. Okay. All right. right. We got this. Almost done. We're going to be done just in time, or we're not going to do one single villager. Because this took so long. Alright, these go down this. Yeah, I put the dirt in the wrong place. I want to be kind of in that center so that I can get around both sides of it. And it's about time to sleep. Hold on a second. That water spill knocked out some torches. We're still pretty good down here, though. But we do need torches up. Okay. Let me give it 10 more seconds so that I can sleep before I head back up there. All right. Well, this is looking pretty good. And all this is going to be hidden inside of that silo build eventually. So that'll be nice. There we go. Yeah. Nice. Okay, good. Let's do a couple more of those. Doop, doop, doop. Let's see. Boy, I'm really just not landing that sideways hit very many. I mean, I'm missing them a lot. There we go. Oh, gosh. Is there something weird with the chest hitboxes, or is it really just my aim? My aim is just really bad. Don't blame it on the hitbox, Oda. Me and my friends used to bowl a lot. We were actually a league, and some of my friends were in a league for a while. This was my probably late 20s, mid 20s. And that was always the thing, right? Every time you screwed up, it was the shoes, it was the lane, it was always something. It was the shoe stuck or slid too much, or the ball stuck on your finger, or the lane was too slippery, or there was always something. It was never that you just screwed up. Alright, we're sealing that off now. All right, we have a working farm. So now let's remove these and remove these. I heard that. I heard the dispenser click. It took that long for the pumpkin to show up. I think I just heard this one click. There you go. See. So now they're starting off with the same number. So we'll let this run for the rest of the episode, and we'll see if they're about even when the episode is done in 10 minutes. Let's see. I do want to do a little bit of cleanup here. These don't need to be in there because that was what I got from the guy that we had to remove. Okay, let's move that around here. Stick that in here. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. So now I need to put some torches on this farm just to make sure that everything is spawn proofed. So let's get that done real quick here. And my rockets. Rockets, please. Okay, not many, but there are some. So we'll do one here. How is this stuff so well lit? Where's the light coming from? I don't know. I don't trust it, though. I'm putting something up here. Is the light from inside the farm leaking through these? Oh, it's probably leaking through the pistons. Yeah, bet that's what it is. Cool. Okay, we're spawn proof. That did not take 10 minutes. Okay, so no chance in making farmers this episode. I really thought I'd have at least a good 45 minutes or an hour to start messing with our farmers, but I think that's it. We have a working pumpkin and melon farm. We got 4 pumpkins and 2 melons. Now remember, I said it's on average. On average. That means those last couple melons could have been very below average. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that is big enough. We'll wrap a silo around that. Somehow, we'll figure it out. This sticks out pretty far, so that kind of messes up the tightness of the silo. But I didn't want them to go this way because I couldn't make them go this way because the trapdoors are here. And hopefully we get no melons stuck. See, it's possible. Oh gosh, I'm in this weird limbo state. Can I get back out? Oh. It's possible melons could get stuck on these hoppers. But I'm hoping that since this thing is dispensing them this way, that they'll ride up this back wall. So hopefully we've solved that problem. And hopefully that's not why... Well, see, they're getting even. They're getting there. Another thing I need to worry about is if these... I'm going to need to check... These two back stems in these back corners are sitting at a light level of 8. And I need to look up online to see if those have to be a 9. I feel like that's what I remember. I will have to sneak a light source into... either this side wall or this back wall. Like one of these blocks will be a light source instead, which could also change what you see on the outside of the silo build. Like if that means that this block could not be the outside of the build, or if these blocks were the outside of the build, there'd have to be something sticking out to hide those lights. That's something I'll figure out offline after this episode is done. But yeah, that's it. Let me take a wide shot at this. All right. Cool. This is different than what you know what? Let me show you what I had planned. Now that you see what this is, okay, and it's going to be this big silo here sticking up, and there's going to be a farmhouse sitting here. Somehow the silo is going to have to encompass these things sticking out sideways. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But that was the build. Let me show you what the build was going to be. You get a fun little sneak peek into my multiplayer. Not my multiplayer. What am I talking about? Creative Test World. This is what I was going to build. So this has the farms out the way that I had originally laid them out, and it's pumpkins on this side, melons on this larger side, and then they go up these ramps, and at the top of this ramp is a item collector. So the cart comes up, and if it has anything in it, it'll stop. And if that one didn't have anything in it, but if it had anything in it, it'll stop momentarily while it unloads. The pumpkins would go straight into a tower of chests, and this one unloads, and that goes straight into the crafter. And then once the crafter crafts them, that spits them out into the chests, and then they go down the chests. So this was the original farm, and that would mean that this build would be large this way and sideways the whole way, but it would still have to come up to hide these things. And this was going to be a very awkward build to make. And then when you come in here, you would see this inside the farmhouse. So this stuff would have to be somehow, if not hidden, maybe it could be exposed, right? Like you come in and you see the mechanisms working, and the villagers are walking around here, and you get this many chests full of storage backfill. So this was the original plan. This is what I spent time designing. And what we got was what we have here, what we just built. So I think I'm going to be able to work this into a build a lot better. Like I said, I think the silo is going to work better as a build. And the farmhouse, I think that's going to look really good. And ultimately, we're going to have more than enough pumpkins and melons, probably more than we're ever going to need to trade. Because like I said, we're really just using them to trade for golden carrot. Oh, look, I see now the melons are pulled ahead, 6 and 5. See, there you go. It also depends on how quickly they're harvesting. But again, law of averages, it's over time. It's over time. So yeah, there we go. That's it. That's awesome. I'll think about how to build something around this. Maybe that's something that I will do in creative. And maybe next week we'll actually have a situation where we're building off a Lightmatica schematic and collecting resources. So we'll see. I'm going to have to clean this up off camera. Cool. Nice. Thanks, guys. I hope you had a good time with this. This was fun. You were seeing me design something on the fly that, although I knew theoretically how it would work, I didn't know the details. So you got to watch me work out all the details along the way. So that was pretty cool. You saw me fail a couple times and readjust, but that's what it is when you're playing this game, right? If you like freak out about redstone, don't. You know what? If you fail, just do it again. And if that fails, do it again. Just try it. Just try it. It's not, I'm not going to say it's not complicated. It is very complicated. And you have to understand how the components work. But you're never going to learn it if you don't just try it. And fail. Try and fail. Cue the rain as soon as we talk about failing. It's like a movie. Anyway, guys, seriously, I hope you had fun. I'm so glad you hung out with me today. And I'm so glad that I was able to help you spend a few hours of relaxation. Hopefully you relaxed and got something useful done while I was bumbling with redstone in the background. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. I really appreciate you. Bye-bye.